Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our October 13th, 2020 special call fiscal court meeting. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Madison County Fiscal Court will be video conferencing the fiscal court meeting live on Madison County, Kentucky's Facebook page and our local Spectrum TV channel 377 in compliance with the Office of the Attorney General's opinion 20-05. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs.
Here.
Master Barger.
Here.
Master Tudor.
Here.
Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'm going to invite our Master John Tudor to lead us in a word of prayer. John?
Let us pray, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day, for this country and the freedoms we experience, Lord. We thank you so much for men and women who serve every day and risk their lives to make those freedoms available for us. We thank you for this county and moving forward, Lord, just be with us as we make the right decisions. Forgive us where we fail you, and we thank you so much for your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Continue to bless us, we ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, John. At this time, I'll invite Master Tom Botkin to lead us in the pledge.
Abel, could we stand, please? I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Tom. The minutes from our previous meeting, we will have those at our next fiscal court meeting. We didn't have those completed and ready for this court meeting, so we'll have those at our next court meeting. Treasurer's report is always on our fourth Tuesday. So we'll get into our first order of business today, and we have a special guest. It's always great to see that smiling face. So glad you're on here with us this morning, Jennifer. Good morning to you.
Thank you, Ray.
And now this is to bring awareness to domestic violence. And so I'm going to read our proclamation, and then Jennifer, I'll turn it over to you, and you can address the court and however you want. Okay. And this is one of the things that I love about this proclamation is it is a joint proclamation with, our letterheads of this, the county's letterhead, the city of Richmond, and the city of Berea. And I think anytime that we can sort of show that unity is always special. Whereas domestic violence has no place in our society, and we have a moral obligation to support the victims and their children while putting into place strategies for preventing it in the future. And whereas domestic violence destroys lives and damages the dignity of men, women, and children. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month is an opportunity to emphasize our commitment to ending domestic violence in our community. And whereas a home should be the ultimate place for safety, comfort, and love. Domestic violence shatters these basic foundations of life. We are strongly committed to addressing domestic violence and helping those who have been victimized. And whereas during Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we are grateful for the agencies and individuals providing care to those affected by these acts of cruelty, and to law enforcement and the court system for bringing offenders to justice. By working together, we can build a community where every home honors the value and dignity of its loved ones. Now, therefore, Madison County, the city of Berea, and the city of Richmond does hereby proclaim October 2020 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Richmond, Berea, and all of Madison County. I urge all our citizens to reach out to victims and help end domestic violence. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Reagan. I appreciate you guys letting me come and always giving you an update about what's going on with Hope's Wings and in our county, especially during October. We should be raising awareness about domestic violence all the time, but October seems to be, the month where we do a lot of that work. And thank you for letting us put a display on the courthouse lawn last week. We appreciate that. We think it was a pretty powerful display. There were 48 people in the state of Kentucky this year that died because of domestic violence. And even though we haven't been able to have our lunch like we typically do, or the rally that we always do, we did want to recognize those people who lost their lives this year. We think it's important, to let people know that it's still happening and we've still got lots of work to do. So we appreciate the partnerships that we have with the county, with our funding. We appreciate the partnerships that we have with the city of Richmond and Berea. And, you guys always support us, and we just couldn't be more grateful for that. I do want to give you an update about the shelter. Some of you may have known that we were doing some construction. Unfortunately, the need for our services outgrew our facility. We finished construction on the shelter this year. Actually, we have 2 new bedrooms and a learning center, and we're still a debt-free program, which, is exciting, especially now when being able to fundraise is limited. So not having lots of debt is important to a program like ours. But we do appreciate the partnerships. And if you all ever want a tour of the facility, just let me know, Reagan, and we'll set something up. We want you to know what you're supporting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I definitely know what I'm supporting, and I really appreciate your leadership and the lives that you touch in our community and really beyond at Central Kentucky. So thank you for what you do. Masters, do y'all have any comments? All right, seeing none, Jennifer, thank you. You're more than welcome to stay, but I also know that you probably have a very busy day. So
I do. I'm in the car, so you take care.
Yeah, take care. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Next, we have our second reading of ordinance 2022. It's the Madison County Airport Water and Sewer Line Extension. This is an MOU. An ordinance adopting and approving the execution of an agreement between the Madison County Fiscal Court, the Madison County Airport Board, Inc., the City of Richmond, and the City of Berea, Kentucky, to assist in the procurement of funding for the extension of water and sewer lines to the Madison County Airport, also known as the Central Kentucky Regional Airport. This was our second reading. We have advertised appropriately. We have not at this point had any kind of comments, public comments back. At this time, I need a motion and a second to approve the second reading of ordinance 2022. Tom Bakken.
Hey, sorry about that, Judge. I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2022.
Thank you, Tom. John?
Trying to get this mute off, Judge. I'll second that motion, Judge.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion at this time? I think everybody's pretty up to speed on this project. This is good for our airport, especially the water part of it. It helps us get fire flow out there to the airport. Then it also benefits EKU and their aviation program. We do have a letter of support also from President David McFadden as well. That's part of our packet. Tom Bakken.
Hey, Judge, I just want to say, this is good for our not just our Madison County, but for our Central Kentucky region. You was talking about the support of Eastern out there. We now have 3 additional hangars out there that are all, I think, totally space is totally rented out. And EKU will be expanding their program as they go forward, not just in the flight, but in the support programs that go along in the aviation field. And we need to keep all that going. Of course, this program will not only be good just at the airport, but for the surrounding area out in that region as well. So we certainly appreciate all of the cities and the county stepping up for this.
Yep. Thanks, Tom. Anyone else? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd just like to say I appreciate the 3 governments coming together for this program. This is going to be a unity grant that we're applying for the airport out there, and it's going to help not only the airport but all of Madison County. Yeah,
it is a great opportunity. So Thanks to the city of Richmond, city of Berea, for partnering with us and the airport. Mayor Bruce Fraley, he's done quite a bit of work on this to those services. The water's coming from Madison, our Southern Madison Water District, and then the sewer's coming from Berea Municipal. So they've all been very involved. So we appreciate them. Anything else? All right, seeing none, if no more discussion, Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Pastor Combs,
Yes.
Pastor Barger,
Yes.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have second reading of ordinance 2023. This is a zone change 107, 115, and 117 Greens Crossing, and 2707 Robbinsville Loop. And we have Bert Thomas on here with us this morning, our planning and codes director. Good morning, Bert.
As the judge said, this is an ordinance of the Madison Fiscal Court approving the zone change of 107, 115, and 117 Greens Crossing Road and 2707 Robbinsville Loop, Richmond, Kentucky, and authorizing the amendment of the official zoning map of Madison County. This is a second reading to change the zone from RC1 and RC3 to RC4. The Planning Commission had a public hearing, and their recommendation and findings of fact were as follows: that the existing zoning classification is inappropriate and the proposed zoning classification is appropriate for the following reasons. There have been major changes of an economic and physical nature within the area involved that were not anticipated in the adopted comprehensive plan, and which have substantially altered the basic character of the area based upon the economic development of the surrounding area and the 52 East Rural Corridor, and the development of the infrastructure and traffic patterns that make RC4 a more appropriate zoning classification for this property.
Thank you, Bert. We advertised this as well. According to KRS on our second readings, we have not had any comment back that I know of as of this morning. I think, Bert, you also checked with Chris yesterday.
Yeah, we haven't had anything in our office either, Judge.
Yeah. So at this time, if we could get a motion and a second to approve the second reading of ordinance 2023 zone change for 107, 115, and 117 Greens Crossing and 2707 Robbinsville Loop. John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to adopt a zone change for these addresses have been listed here on ordinance 2022.
2023, John.
Okay.
Yeah, Roger.
I'll second that.
All right, so I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion at this time? Anybody have any questions? John?
Judge, this is my district. Like Bert said, we haven't had any objection to these changes. I had a couple of calls about inquiring the difference or what was going to go in that area out there, but no objection whatsoever. So I'm in favor of this.
Thank you, John. Anybody else? All right. If no further discussion, Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Pastor Barger,
Yes.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Buchan,
Yes.
Pastor Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Bert.
Thanks, Bert.
Next, we have several resolutions coming up and dealing with our EMA or CSEP program. So we'll have Dustin on with us. Good morning, Dustin. Next, we have resolution 20-102 is a Bluegrass Army Depot Meteorological System MOU.
Yes.
Good morning, buddy.
Judge. Good morning, everybody. I'll go ahead and read that. This is resolution 20-102, resolution approving signature of a memorandum of understanding MOU between the Bluegrass Chemical Activity BGCA, Bluegrass Army Depot BGAD, and Madison County for the Bluegrass Meteorological System. Whereas the Madison County EMA participates in the CSEP program, and whereas this MOU provides for the maintenance of the Bluegrass Meteorological System and space for the system equipment, including METView computers in the Bluegrass Army Depot Emergency Operations Center and the Madison County Emergency Operations Center. And whereas the Madison County EOC will provide a location for the MetView PC and associated equipment in Madison County. And whereas Madison County EOC will request from BGCA desired meteorological data or reports. And whereas this MOU is in effect upon the date of the last signature and shall continue in effect until suspended or rescinded by mutual agreement. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve to enter into the agreement and authorize the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Dustin. And the one word there, I just want to make, I don't think it really matters, but superseded instead of suspended, superseded or rescinded. So yeah, no worries. Just want to make sure. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-102? Tom Bakken. Kenny, he just said that he wanted to make a motion to approve resolution 20-102.
That's verbatim, exactly what I said. Thank you.
I know, I could watch your mouth. I was watching your lips move. Yeah. John Tudor.
I'll second that motion, Judge.
So we do have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? And Dustin can answer any kind of questions that we may have. Tom Bakken.
Hey, Judge, I've got a question for Dustin. Can you tell us what this is for?
Yeah, so again, this is an MOU that we sign every year. We have the system as part of the CSEP program and the computer system that would bring in meteorological data if there was a release that enters into our computer system that provides us the plume if we had a release and allows us to see that plume. That's what this system is. We house one of the computers here at this facility as a backup to the chemical activity. So if they had a failure at their side on the computer, we could still obtain that data and put the right information manually into a computer if we had to. Additionally, it provides us some other information for other weather events, tornadoes, thunderstorms, things like that, if there is a need.
Okay, good. That was really what I was kind of wondering is if we're housing a system and it's a live system, why would we need to request information from the depot about meteorological events?
Yeah, where it's there, where it technically belongs to them, we do request that information prior to utilizing it for other situations.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Dustin. John, did you have something you want to add?
I just want to ask Dustin, the Army Depot has one of those meteorological systems on site out there, and yours is basically a backup. Is that correct?
Correct. So there's 8 towers within Madison County that feed into this system. And then there's, I think, 4 outside of the county that feed into the system. And yes, we're utilized as a backup to them. If they were to have a failure on the computer side, we could still obtain the information and plug it in manually. The computer system that develops the plume in an event pulls this information automatically, but it's there for backups.
Thank you, Dustin.
You bet.
Any other comments? All right. Seeing none, Clerk Barger, call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Barger,
yes,
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Up next, we have resolution 20-103. This is a CSEP fiscal year 17-18 grant MOA contract extension. Dustin.
Yes, sir. So resolution 20-103, resolution approving the extension of the CSEP FY 17-18 grant funds for Madison County Fiscal Court. Whereas Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to extend the CSEP FY 17-18 grant funding, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has received contract extension from Kentucky Emergency Management, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to extend the contract for FY 17-18 CSEP funds for 1 year beginning October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021 to complete projects within our community that are funded through these grant years, which is attached there or here to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve to enter into the contract and authorize the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county and retroactively go into effect October 1, 2020.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-103? Roger?
I make a motion to accept resolution 2103.
Do I have a second? John Tudor?
I'll second that motion. Adopt resolution 2103.
All right. Thank you all. Have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? All right, seeing none, let's call the roll.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Combs,
Yes.
Mr. Barger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have resolution 20-104. This is the CSEP fiscal year 19 grant MOA contract extension. Dustin?
Yes, resolution 20-104, a resolution approving the extension of the CSEP FY19 grant funds for Madison County Fiscal Court. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to extend the CSEP FY19 grant funding, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has received the contract extension from Kentucky Emergency Management, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to extend the contract for FY19 CSEP funds to 1 year beginning October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021 to complete projects within our community that are funded through this grant year, which is attached here to this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve to enter into the contract and authorize the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county to retroactively go into effect October 1, 2020.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second for resolution 20-104? John Tudor?
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 2104.
All right, do I have a second? Tom Bakken?
Second that, Judge.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? You all do understand sort of why this is sort of how this goes with the CSEP program and those funds. You know, we get approved previous years back for projects, and that money sort of just gets carried over because by the time it gets approved, a lot of times it can't be spent or that project can't be done in that same year. So that's why we extend these agreements. Is that okay? Is that fair to say, Dustin?
That's very fair to say, sir. I think Tom does have a question, but
Yeah, Tom, sorry. I didn't see you with your hand up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had a question on and it's for Dustin on page 10 of the attachment on that. There's several acts there that it references to, and one of them is the Buy American Act. And I just wanted to note or just question that to make sure that our contractors, I know this is referencing to second parties, but do we have a way that we monitor to ensure that they are in fact trying to buy American if possible?
when we go into anything that we bid upon, yes, we do identify where they are obtaining their products from.
Good. That's good.
Thank you, Tom. Is there any other discussion? We do have a motion and a second on the floor for resolution to approve resolution 20-104.
You know, Judge, I just wanted to say, just to add to that, simply that you were referencing the contract and when it started, I think the contract started on this, I believe I saw where that was a $50 million contract. I'm not sure the exact dollar figure that's left, but it's somewhere around half or maybe a little more than that. Correct, Dustin?
Yeah, FY19 has our radio system funds in it, so it is quite a bit bigger than maybe most of the others have been. And as that project begins, that will start to reduce that number.
John Tudor.
Judge, I'd just like to say that without the help of these grants, we could not continue these programs and these safety plans that we're putting in effect for the CSEP program out there. And we apply for these grants every couple of years. And without those help from the federal government, these programs would go away, and the safety aspects of the county and the CSEP program would dwindle away. So this is very important that we obtain these grants while we can.
Yeah, I agree. Agree 100%, John. You know, the communities, I'm going to say we, because I'm one of them too. We've really gotten spoiled with some of the federal funding that we've gotten for CSEP and destroying the nerve agent mustard. And it's getting closer and closer, coming to an end, and that funding will not be around anymore. But we're going to have a lot of infrastructure that we're going to have to pay for and are going to have to keep up. And so I'm glad we are starting now having these discussions and making sure that the community is aware of that. You know, this program has helped not only the county out, but it's helped the two cities out as well over the years. So we need to start bringing a lot of awareness to post CSEP and then what that means to our budgets and our revenues and our tax base. And we're going to have a lot of money that we're going to have to be spending that we won't be getting anymore. So any other comments? All right, seeing none, we'll call the roll. Clerk Barger.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Barger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes. Next, we have resolution 20-105. This is Emergency Management Agency COVID PPE bid award amendment. Dustin Heiser.
Yes, sir. Resolution 20-105, a resolution amending resolution 20-96 to award bids for Emergency Management Agency COVID personal protective equipment. Whereas Madison County Fiscal Court is required to approve all bids for projects in accordance with the administrative code, and whereas the bids were being accepted for the COVID personal protective equipment such as masks, gloves, face shields, and gowns, whereas this PPE will be put into reserve for use by the county first responders in another shortage if another shortage were to arise, and whereas the bids were posted and have been opened and reviewed, and whereas we are amending the original bid award for face shields to Bay Promo and awarding the bid to Zendi Incorporated due to miscalculation to be compliant with state procurement laws, and whereas the Madison County Emergency Management Agency is recommending award of those open to the following, and those are listed. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve the bid award and authorize the judge executive to sign and any documents regarding this contract.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate that. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-105? Roger. Hey, and make sure, just FYI, I make sure that I can see your hand. If I can't see it, I don't know to call on you, but Roger.
Make a motion to approve resolution 20-105.
Thank you, Roger. Do I have a second? John Tudor.
I'll second that, Judge.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Tom Bakken.
Judge, I just wanted to ask if Dustin would go ahead and tell us what the miscalculation was.
Sure.
Yeah, you bet. So it was, we just read a number wrong off the bid and put it onto the spreadsheet incorrectly. When we went back with the company, we saw that it was different. And that's why we came back here to award to a different company.
So was that award a decrease in the price?
I would have to look back. I think, let me double check here, sir.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was a decrease.
Yes. Yeah, Zindy. It was an increase in the price. It was an increase by about 30 cents an item.
All right, well then I'm a little confused. Explain that then a little better to me, Dustin. So why would we be going up in price?
So we documented off the bid that we read a item to be 7 cents per product. It was actually 75 cents per product.
Oh, okay. I understand.
So then when we went back to utilizing that information, the correct information of 75 cents, the lowest bid was now 45 cents per product.
Yeah.
So it was an increase. It was an increase from what you saw in resolution.
Yeah, right.
96.
But it's really a decrease. That was a typo in
Yes, sir.
essence. So, but it was
Exactly.
a decrease in what the bids were.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean this chart's incorrect?
It is now corrected.
Well, it's showing 7 cents per unit on level 1 surgical mask.
Yeah, this is for face shields, sir.
Face shields of 45. Okay, thank you. I see.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Any other questions? Any other comments? All right. I do have a motion and a second on the floor. Let's call the roll.
Dr. Barger,
Yes.
Dr. Tudor,
Yes.
Dr. Bacon,
Yes.
Dr. Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have resolution 20-106, a resolution approving resolution 20-106 CSEP Emergency Preparedness Calendar Bid Award. Dustin.
Resolution 20-106, resolution approving contractual agreement for the 2021 CSEP Emergency Preparedness Calendar. Whereas the CSEP program requires a public outreach and education program, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has received a bid from Post Printing for the 2021 CSEP Emergency Preparedness Calendar that met bid specifications, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to award the contract for the emergency preparedness calendar to Post Printing in the amount of $53,889 for the production of the calendar and up to 10 hours of editing and consulting, which is attached here to this resolution. Now therefore be resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve to enter into the contract and authorize the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county to go into effect October 13th, 2020.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-106? Tom Bakken.
Hey, Judge, I'd like to make the motion to approve resolution 20-106, which is contractual agreement for the 2021 CSEP Emergency Preparedness Calendar.
Thanks, Tom. Roger?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? John Tudor.
Dustin, I see here that they was charged $155 to purchase the paint lick address list. Was that not a list that they had in the past?
So we have to purchase all those address lists. There's just that paint lick group is a separate group. We have to make sure that we obtain, because it's not part of maybe what most folks think of as Madison County when they pull Madison County mailing lists.
Absolutely. Most of the paint lick is in Garrett County. I understand that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Any other comments? Any other questions? Seeing none, call the roll.
Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Bodkin,
Yes.
Mr. Combs,
Yes.
Mr. Barger,
yes,
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you, Dustin. I know that was a lot, but we'll see you back here in a minute again.
You bet. Thank
Yeah.
y'all.
Next, I think we have our Willie Willis on with us. And next we have our resolution 20-107. This is fiscal year 21. It's a 80-20 Bogey Mill Road supplemental agreement. It's our 80-20 bridge project. Willie, do you have the resolution in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Yep, if you don't mind. Good morning to you, buddy. Appreciate you being on with us today. If you don't care, just to read the resolution, then we'll have a little discussion and move on to the next item. Thank you.
Resolution adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program agreement between the Fiscal Court and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being a part of the county road system. Whereas the Fiscal Court does hereby certify that all roads and streets referred to in said agreement are county roads and defined in KRS 178.0101D, and whereas the Fiscal Court does hereby ratify and adopt all statements, representations, warranties, covenants, and agreements contained in said agreement, and does hereby accept said agreement, and by such acceptance agrees to all the terms and conditions therein stated, and whereas the county judge executive of the county is hereby authorized and directed to sign said agreement as set forth on behalf of the Fiscal Court of Madison County, and the county clerk of Madison County is hereby authorized and directed to certify thereto. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive to execute the same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Willie. Appreciate it. Do I have a motion, a second, to approve resolution 20-107? Roger Barger.
Judge, that bridge is in my district, and we're glad to get all the help we can get as far as getting these bridges taken care of. I make a motion that we accept the 20-107.
Thank you, Roger. Tom?
Second resolution, 20-107, Judge.
All right, thank you all. Do we have any discussion on this? We actually approved this bridge project last year. We only get so much money in the 80-20 bridge program allotted to us. And I believe, Willie, that they went ahead and approved this project and allowed us to get what we had left in that funding last year. And then we were basically asking for the difference, which is, I think, about $80,000 in this year. Is that correct, Willie?
That is correct, Judge.
Yeah. So just to make sure everybody, we approved this project some time ago, but we got the funding basically in 2 different fiscal years. So any questions? Any comments?
Just a comment, Judge, to just say that the total on that project appeared to be $108,870, just so that our constituents know.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and I think we got like 28,000. We had 28,000 left last year, which has made the difference up of 80,000 for this year. Okay. All right. Anything else? Seeing none, Clerk Barger, please call the roll.
Mr. Bodkin,
Yes.
Mr. Combs,
Yes.
Mr. Barger,
Yes,
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Willie.
Thank
Next,
you.
we have resolution 20-108. This is an illegal dump cleanup grant. I believe we have Scott Shepherd on with us this morning. Scott, good morning to you, buddy.
Good morning, sir.
If you will, just read the resolution.
Whereas the 2021 Kentucky Energy and Environmental Cabinet Division of Waste Management, DWM, Illegal Dump Cleanup Grant allows units of local government to apply for funding to be used for illegal dump cleanup during the grant period of January 1st, 2021 until February 28th, 2022. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court, Kentucky, desires to make an application for 2021 DWM illegal grant cleanup grant funds, and whereas the County of Madison, Kentucky, wishes to authorize the judge executive and or his designee to make application for 2021 DWM illegal dump cleanup grant funds, And if the application is successful, to enter into an agreement with DWM to administer 2021 illegal dump cleanup grant funds to execute any documents which are deemed necessary to facilitate and administer the award, to act as an authorized correspondence for the award. And whereas the amount of grant funding Madison County will receive, if any, will be determined by DWM based on a prioritization ranking, funding, availability, and other applicable criteria in the grant cycle. And whereas there is a 25% local match required, either in kind or actual dollars, for individual dump cleanups costing less than $50,000. And now, therefore, be it resolved this 13th day of October, 2020, by Madison County, Kentucky, the judge executive and or his designee is hereby authorized to exect and furnish all required documentation, including memorandum of agreements, as may be required for the furtherance of the above referenced project, and to act as the authorized correspondent for said project.
Thank you, Scott. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 20-108? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 20-108.
Thank you. Tom Bakke.
Second on resolution 20-108, Judge.
Thank you all. Do y'all have any discussion? And we can talk about, Scott, this is the project that's going to be on the old overlook. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Yeah. So it's out on the 025. Do y'all remember where the little, it sort of used to be like a, I guess, sort of a little tourist rest stop there as you were traveling 25, and had the brick wall. It's kind of curved, and people would pull over and maybe have a picnic or whatever, and they'd look over at the Clays Ferry Bridge and look at the river. Y'all know where I'm talking about? So that area, I didn't know it, but we found that it's been basically a dump site for quite a few years. Isn't that correct, Scott? Did y'all go out and look at it? People have been throwing tires and all kinds of trash and junk over that wall.
Yes, sir. The state actually had a report dating back to 2007 that there was a complaint on this dump, and it was inspected in 2007, and nothing was ever done. So it has just accumulated since then to what it is today.
Okay. So it's a great opportunity if we can get the grant and get the funding to get that cleaned up, and then possibly even, have a nice pull off, like it used to be. I remember it when I was a kid. Yeah. So
I was through there one day last week, Judge, and there's only really one place where you can even see over and see the river now. Due to the grow up, of course, when you was a kid, there was probably saplings out there, but.
What are you saying?
It's grown up a little bit now.
Yeah. You had a good view of it back in for sure. So it's funny. All right. Any other just comments or questions? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to ask Scott, do you have any estimate, Scott, what it's going to cost to get that cleaned up? Or
I do, John. Right now, we're projecting there to be about 400 cubic yards of trash. There's between 100 and 200 tires. Total estimated cost right now is $43,000.
Will that have to be done? Most of that have to be done by hand, though, over that bank?
No, we've actually had our employees out and looked at it, and we think we can do a lot of it with machinery. We will have to rent a 60-foot track hoe long reach, and there is a existing road that is there that not many people know about, and it goes underneath that rock wall. We will be able to reach a lot of the stuff from that road by reopening it. And I think total time project from start to finish, it would take us about 2 weeks.
So we're planning on doing the in-kind, and if we get the funding, otherwise for the majority of the project, we'll do the in-kind work.
Yes, sir. All of ours will be in-kind.
Yeah.
Scott, I appreciate you looking this up and finding some funding for it. And this is something that desperately needs to be done. And thank you for, your efforts in this waste management and cleaning the county up. I appreciate you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Scott, can we assume that we'll go ahead and be putting up some signs and taking some countermeasures to deter that for the future, not to just recreate the same thing after we get it cleaned up?
Yes, we actually met with the current property owner and with the Division of Waste Management from the state. And we are talking about putting some state signage up since it's a state road. And there's even mention of a way we can get video surveillance of the area.
Good.
Yeah, great. Good work, Scott. Thank you so much. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, we do have a motion and a second on the floors. Clerk Barger, call the roll.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Yes.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Scott. Next, we have some personnel in our fire department. We have our Chief Tim Gray on with us. Good morning, Chief.
Good morning. Today, I want to promote firefighter Cameron Arnold from a firefighter 1 to firefighter 2. It'll go effect 10/14 of 2020. He'll begin at $8 an hour. He's completed his 400-hour training certification. He's now a certified firefighter.
Good. Thanks, Chief. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Chief Gray's recommendation? Tom Bakken?
Motion to approve Cameron Allen for his
Arnold.
promotion from a firefighter 1 to firefighter 2 at $8 an hour starting on 10/14/2020, Judge.
Thank you. And it's Arnold, just for clarification. Roger.
I second that.
All right. Thank you all. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Chief. You don't have anybody else, right, Chief? That's it. Yeah. Next, we have personnel. It's the EMAC set. Good morning again, Dustin.
Morning again, everybody. Would you like me to, Judge, you tell me how you want to do this? Can we do all four at the same time, or you want to do one?
No, we need to do one at a time.
Perfect. We'll do it. All right.
And I'll just let you start with whoever you have first.
Okay. So we had openings. We had 4 openings for our emergency operations technician position. We had a committee of Jennifer Hitch, Mick Cablin, and Terry Bratfish. Jennifer's our deputy director, and Mick and Terry are our 2 of our shift supervisors. It is recommended that we hire John Wilburn at $16.41 an hour for second shift, and he will start 10/28 of 2020.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Dustin's recommendation of John Wilburn? Roger. Roger's made a motion. John Tudor?
Second that, Judge.
All right. I do have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, Dustin.
Next recommendation is to hire same position, EOC technician, Ashley Dozier. Again at $16.41 an hour with a start date of 10/28 of 2020.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Dustin's recommendation of Ashley Dozier? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to hire Ashley Dozier as the EOC technician beginning at $16.41 an hour on starting date 10/28/2020.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second? Roger.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll.
Master Bucking,
Yes.
Master Combs,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Tudor,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, Dustin.
Unmute. We recommend that we hire Arabella Stamper, again for EOC technician, third shift at $16.41 an hour, starting 10/28 of 2020.
All right, do I have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation that's been presented for Arabella Stamper? Roger?
So moved, Judge.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Tom?
Second, Judge.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Is all these new employees or replacing people?
These are replacing.
Okay.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah, we'll have these empty spots. They're not new.
Okay.
This is part of our positions when we went to 24/7 on our EOC. So we had seconds and thirds and first shifts. So we're short some. I think people have gotten other jobs or went someplace else. Is that correct, Dustin?
You got it, sir.
Yep.
Okay,
Hey,
thank
since
you.
he's asked that, Judge, does this bring you up to 100%, Dustin?
So it does until Thursday.
Yeah.
We have a departure on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think just for the future of everybody, I don't think that we'll, Dustin, I don't think there's with the CSET program, there will be no new future positions, right?
That's correct.
All the
we
EOC
have
is-
all, yes.
We have all those positions now. Now, the only thing we'll be doing is just refilling them, like replacing them with somebody else that left.
Correct.
Yep. Yep. Good question, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Any other comments or? All right. Seeing none, we'll call the roll, please.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes. Thank you all. And I think you have one more, Dustin. Correct?
I do, sir. Last one.
Mhm.
We recommend we hire Michael Numakowski, again, for EOC technician at $16.41 an hour, start date of 10/28 of 2020, and he'll be going to third shift.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation that's been presented for Michael Numakowski?
I'll make that motion.
All right. Larry made the
I'm not
motion.
gonna try to pronounce it though.
Roger.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Good. Thank you all. Do we have any further discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate it. Next is personnel in the animal shelter. I think we have our very own Katie Tibbs on with us. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Judge Taylor.
It's great to see you. If you want to present to the court your recommendation of a new hire.
Sure.
Again, I will say it's a replacement. It's to replace a position. Yeah, it's not actually a new position. Yeah.
Yes, we have a recommendation to fill the position of full-time animal control officer. It has been recommended to hire Justin Burton at $11 an hour to start on October 28th of 2020.
All right. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Katie's recommendation of Justin Burton? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendation to hire Justin Burton as an animal control officer, starting at the salary of $11 an hour, beginning date 10/28/2020.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second? Roger. Roger, second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes. Thank you, Katie. But I do want to make sure the court is aware, but we've been very short-staffed at the animal shelter. And Katie and Jeff Lowry, man, they've really been working very, very, very hard to keep things going. We've had help. Sometimes we've had some of our animal control officers that have been off, been ill, and our sheriff's department has sort of jumped in and helped take those calls. So, you know, it has really been a great partnership and a lot of teamwork out there to keeping things going. And I tell our fiscal court members here this for a reason, because if anybody for the last several months deserves, you know, an attaboy or an attagirl, it is our team at the animal shelter. So if you see them, if you see Jeff, if you see Katie or the other Katie, you know, just give them a good pat on the back, because it has been very challenging. And I'm very thankful for Katie Tibbs's leadership out there. We're going in a really good direction at our animal shelter. And we've just had a few little challenges along the way, haven't we, Katie? But we still have smiles on our faces.
Yes.
So members, if you're out by there at the animal shelter, maybe just stop in and just say thank you. Okay. Thanks,
Thank you.
Katie.
We appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Next is judge's report. I do have a few announcements I want to make. Eastern Kentucky University's 2020 homecoming weekend has been rescheduled to Friday and Saturday, October the 23rd and 24th. There will be many activities throughout both days, but there will not be a parade this year due to COVID-19 virus. But that will be October the 23rd and 24th. I say this announcement for two reasons. One, if you want to go and participate and go to the game and all that, that's awesome. But also, if you don't, it'll be very busy out there. So you might go around the new bypass or sort of avoid the area there of the football stadium. Richmond Park's annual Halloween hoedown will be Thursday, October 22nd from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. at Lake Reba. This year's event will be more of a drive-through style. If your business or organization would like to participate, please contact the Richmond Parks and Recreation Department. This always is a great event downtown on Main Street. Man, it's hard to believe there's that many kids in Madison County, but they're all up and down Main Street. Man, that line is forever long. Obviously, this year, due to the pandemic, it is going to be a little different, but it will be at Lake Reba. There will be a Halloween balloon glow in Berea from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Saturday, October the 31st at various locations across Berea. Visit the Berea Chamber of Commerce website for more information and sponsorship opportunities. Madison County's Trick or Treat will be Saturday, October 31st from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Residents wanting to participate should turn your porch light on and place individually wrapped candy or treats on your porch or on a table in your yard or driveway. Please wear face coverings. A Halloween mask does not count. Follow state guidelines on social distancing. Go in family groups only in your own neighborhood and avoid large groups. Basically, you know, during this pandemic, let's just use common sense. Make sure that we're taking safety precautions. You know, I think it's great. The mayors and myself, city manager, city administrator, our deputy judge, we felt like that, hey, our community needed something that was somewhat normal and that we really felt like it was good to have a trick or treat. But let's just use common sense, be smart about it so that we can still enjoy. It's good for the mind. It's good for the spirit. So please just follow those CDC guidelines and just be smart about our actions. Next is Whitehall Historic Shrine is sponsoring a Halloween tea on Saturday, October 31st. Reservations are required and will fill up quickly. Contact the Whitehall State Shrine for details and reservations. Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. Contact the Madison County Clerk's office with questions or more information. And Clerk Barger, he might want to say something here in a minute about the upcoming election. The Officer Ellis 5K run will be Saturday, November 7th at the Richmond Center beginning at 8:30 a.m. For more information, just type Officer Ellis 5K in your search engine, and it will take you to the correct site. Please continue to wear face coverings, practice good hand washing and social distancing anywhere you go, no matter where you are. So appreciate that. And that's all I have. Comments from magistrates. Who do I start with? Tom, I think.
Hey, Judge. I just got a couple things. We've still got a few projects that we're pending over in the 4th District. We've got a big, huge tree that's dead, and it's on the intersection of Peggy Flats and Walt Meta. That tree's been gone for a while. We've talked to the property owner over there. We've also talked to Bluegrass Energy, who has agreed to come out there and cut that down for us. And we will assist them in getting rid of the debris over there, but we're still waiting on them to handle that. We've still got a project over in Tremont that we're working on. We've been waiting on parts for that, and I think those may be in now, and they may be over there working on that as of today. But if not, they'll be over there soon because we do have what we need for that now. We're finished on Hagan Mill. We're finished on Arbuckle. We're finished on Wheeler Branch. I'd just like to say, now that we're finished on Hagan Mill, there is another place over there that we're going to be keeping an eye on that's, within a couple hundred yards of where the last one was at, that we'll end up having to do something with here before long. So that's all I've got, Judge. If anyone needs me for anything, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thanks, Tom. John?
Judge, I'd just like to give a big shout out and thank you to Scott Shepard for all the grants he's able to obtain through the waste management, the tire amnesty, the household cleanups, and just like the one we voted on today or mentioned today, the grant to clean up off the side of 25 down there by the river. Scott goes out of his way to find these grants and to get our county in better shape of cleaning up some trash and debris. And he's worked with me on an issue down at Waco at the crossroads and got rid of some excess trash on the side of the road there. And I just want to say thank you to Scott on that. The Waco Volunteer Fire Department had a truck pull last Saturday. It was rained out, and that is rescheduled for October the 24th, I think at 7 o'clock at the fairgrounds. Please get out and support the volunteer fire department. Also support the Union City Fire Department. These guys, at the drop of a hat, they get up out of bed and put their pants on and go try to save your house or your property whenever they're needed. And these guys need a big hand of applause and thank you every time you see one of them. So they do a great job for a county volunteer for no pay whatsoever. So I appreciate these guys, each one of them, and thank you. And please try to support them any way you can. Down Stony Run, we've been working on some driving some pylons on the side of the creek where the road washed away a little bit there. And Hinkle Construction was doing that project for us. The last time I was down there, it wasn't totally completed, but all the railing, crib and railing was put up, and I think they just need to backfill in behind that. I had a couple residents down that area also point out that up the road there on Stony Run, there's another situation that's going to get out of hand if we don't do something, and that has been reported too. It's actually the creek cutting back in under the road there. It's no real big problem right now, but if we let it go much longer, it will cause some great expense and great detail there. So just want to thank all the road department and all of our employees. That's all I got, Judge.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Roger?
Am I on?
Yes, you are.
Okay. This time of the year, the courthouse can get kind of busy, a little busier than usual with the election getting ready to go on and title changes and paying taxes and whatever. And of course, the sheriff's department's involved in that too. I want to give a shout out to Clerk Barger and the sheriff's department. I've had a few comments about going to the courthouse and having to wait a few minutes to get inside or whatever, but it's been nothing that gets out of hand. But I think they do a fine job, and they understand that this time of year, it's going to be tough on them, and I think they prepare for it. But I just wanted to give a shout out to them and the sheriff's department for the jobs that they do. That's all I got, Judge.
Thanks, Roger. Larry.
Judge, is Carlos, is he there? I haven't seen him on there.
Who?
Carlos.
Cole.
Carlos Cole. Oh, Mike, you're talking about Sheriff
No.
Carlos Cole?
Yeah, EMS.
Yeah, he's not on. No.
Well, I just wanted to send a shout out to him. I had a good friend that lived on Prospect Street there in Berea, and his wife had a little accident there in the house. And he said they were there in just a matter of minutes. And probably had they not got there and knew what they was doing, she would have passed away. He wanted me to relay that on to him.
Yeah, that's great.
And then the other thing is, I want to thank Willie and the road department. They did get that Mallory Springs ditched out. It was running over the road. So we got all that done, and I've been asked by a lot of the people that live there to relay on to Willie and the road department that good job they done. I guess, yeah, I don't want to end on a sour note, but I'm very disappointed that we won't have court in Berea anymore. And Kenny, I know it's not your fault. It's AOC. And no driver's license.
Yeah, oh, you're talking about the judicial court. Yeah. On Fridays.
It comes through AOC, and I understand that, but all you're going to do there is put all those people in Richmond and just be that many more over here. But yeah, I guess they're doing it because of money. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure on that. Yeah.
Well, I talked to Kenny about it, and he pretty well explained it, but it's not your fault. I don't want you to think I'm picking on you, because I'm not. At least we still get a license plates and stuff like that over there anyway, but no more testing. Of course, they haven't been giving tests for a long time, have they, Kenny? Road tests?
That's all circuit clerk.
Yeah.
That's all Clerk Fernandez. Yeah, I think they quit doing the testing down there in Berea a while back. Darlene got that started, and I guess state police couldn't keep up with having enough people down there to handle it.
Well, I can understand, and of course, you know, anytime they make moves like that, I'm sure they looked at the whole picture, and I'm sure they did, but it's going to be an inconvenience for a lot of people down southern Madison County, and hopefully someday it could come back, but who knows?
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm just glad to be here as always, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on TV.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you, buddy.
Stay safe, Larry.
Yeah.
Next, Clerk Marjorie, do you have anything to add? You want
to? Yeah. I'll piggyback a little bit on Larry's thing. We are open in Berea. There couldn't have been a worse time to make that announcement. We're going to start it. We started absentee voting today. And 2 weeks ago, they announced they're closing the Berea office. Nobody knows the difference between the circuit clerk and the county clerk. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox there. I'll move on to the election. We are absentee voting today between now and the day before the election. We got flooded with phone calls yesterday, folks thinking today was the only day to absentee vote. You got 3 weeks to come up here and absentee vote. Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and Saturday, 8 to noon at the courthouse here in Richmond, or the Berea office down there in Berea next to City Hall. Move on to absentee mail voting. I've been telling everybody that the postmasters have been sorting the mail here in the county. Well, it came from the federal level that they were not allowed to do that. So now your return ballots are going to Louisville before they come to me. They're leaving the post office on Water Street, going to Louisville and being sorted and coming back. I'll just give you the facts, no opinion in the matter, but you make up your own mind about why that's happening. Second thing that's right along those same lines, we need your ballot back as soon as possible. We have 38% returned right now out of 15,698. We'll be mailing out the last 602 ballots today. So hopefully you'll get them and either bring them back here to the courthouse in Richmond and put them in the box, or down to the Bree office next to City Hall and put them in the drop box. We need those back as soon as possible so we can have as many votes to tally and announce on election night as possible. We want to have everything, if we can, have everything in and give a total number on election night versus having a whole lot of ballots out and give a total on election night. Then on the 10th, when we give the next total, having a big difference in vote totals. Last thing I want to say is this whole process is basically like starting a new business. Think about today, and we've done it in a matter of weeks. We're running 3 elections at once right now. And I say we because the people I'm talking about are the folks that work here. I can't make them care. I can't make them try. All I can do is show them the path and give them the tools they need to make things successful. And that's exactly what they do every day. I'd be absolutely nothing without them. We are making this thing happen. We're lined up right now here in Richmond and Berea. We are in the process right now of setting up more express votes. We've got 2 people down at the election center setting those up. They're coming back up here. We'll have more machines going in the next hour. I didn't ask a soul to do that. They came in here and told me what they were going to do. You can't ask for more than that from people you work with. And I appreciate them and think the world of them. And I hope that the general public understands what we're going through too. I know that everybody thinks, nobody really understands what it takes to put on an election because they've never done it before, like most things, but it is not easy. It's high risk, it's high pressure, and we want to get it right. So it's a stressful time for all of us, but I appreciate them and thank the world of them. And that's all I've got, Judge.
Thanks, Clerk Barger. Appreciate it. Next, we have our counselor, Jenny Heyman. And I wish like right now that like there was some way that I knew technology and that I could like have a birthday cake right in the middle of our screen and have like some things just popping out of it, for excitement of somebody's birthday today. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I actually just wanted to say nothing about my office. It's the same as always. We're just kind of moving through and doing what we can. But I do want to give props to Clerk Barger and his deputy clerks. I did get the privilege of getting to vote this morning for my birthday. So, but I can say they've done a great job. It is something new. So as with anything that I ask with my office, the same with theirs, everybody be patient. They're just trying to do it the right way and get everybody through, but I think they're doing a great job. So I do think Clerk Barger is very lucky to have the people that work for him. So I'm big fans of them. I appreciate them.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're not
Happy
going to
birthday,
tell your age, Jenny?
But I'm sorry.
You're not going to tell your age?
This birthday's a little hard for me. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of I guess, one of those, I'm blanking on the word I need to use, but milestone birthdays. And so I'm struggling a little bit, guys.
It's tough turning 30, isn't it, Jenny?
Yeah, there you go.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Comments from department heads. Does any department heads need to address the court today? All right. I need a motion to pay the claims, approve the transfers. Roger?
So moved.
And Larry, second. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Oh, it got some discussion. Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Just wanted to highlight and that there's some insurance claims this time from damage to some of our towers that was back in February that totaled over $63,000. And those have been repaired. We do have insurance claims for that, but at the same time, we've also had some towers damaged. So we are we're gonna have to take some steps to try to eradicate that, because that's a lot of money going out.
Thankful for KCO and the insurance they provide for us, but it's a shame. It's a shame that somebody wants to do that kind of damage and theft of our basic emergency system. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks for those comments, Tom. Anything else? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Combs,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Berger.
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you. Next meeting is October 27th, 2020. It'll be at 9:30 in the morning, right back here on Zoom. Again, our next court meeting will be October 27th, 2020 at 9:30 in the morning, right back here on Zoom. I need a motion and a second to adjourn. Tom Bakken.
Motion to adjourn, Judge.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Roger?
Second.
Second, Judge.
Have a motion and a second. I've got another second by John Tudor. So we got 2 seconds. Larry, you want a second too?
Yeah, put me in the crowd. I'll get my dog to second it.
Yeah. All in favor, everybody just say aye today.
Aye.
There you go, Clerk Barger. I made your job a little easier for you today. Yep. So our meeting is adjourned. Guys, God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for all you do for me, for our county, our employees, our citizens. Great work. Teamwork makes the dream work. So everybody have a great week and God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.